Coming up tonight on Q30 News, Hamden residents succeed in keeping a local school open.
And New Haven residents are stretching themselves, doing yoga for a good cause. The Q30 News Nightcast starts now.
Live from the Ed McMahon Center, this is the Q30 News Nightcast.
Good evening, everyone. You're watching Q30 News Nightcast live here on Quinnipiac's Channel 30. I'm Alysis Richardson.
And I'm Tony Fay.
A new recreation center is in the works to alleviate student concerns about an overcrowded gym. It will accompany new dorms on Quinnipiac's developing York Hill campus. The three-story facility will combine a new rec center, dining hall, and student activities center. Jack McDonald, the Director of Athletics and Recreation, said it will be better than anything on campus now. The new building will include dance studios, spinning classrooms, a cardio area, and even more room for weightlifting. It is scheduled for completion in 2009.
Hamden police are supposed to serve and protect, but what happens when their department building is putting them in danger? Q30's Rob Duffy has more.
For the past 50-plus years, the Hamden police have called this humble building home. The department's call for a new facility has gone on for quite some time with no results. Newly appointed Chief Thomas Wydra believes that a new station is a paramount need for the department's image.
It's impossible not to look at this facility and have a negative image of the department, at least in where we're located and in what we're located in.
The building has a litany of structural problems, including a malfunctioning front door, rusting gutters, non-bulletproof glass partition in the front hall, and mold galore, all of which has posed numerous health concerns.
Respiratory problems, for sure. There are many people who have had problems, many of which did not go reported.
And the department's confidence.
The condition of the building, it has to have an impact on morale and productivity. It's impossible for it not to. And so that is certainly a benefit with a new building.
However, Mayor of Hamden, Craig Henrici, says the facility should have little effect on that.
You know, we pay our police officers very well, and we expect them to respond in a proper manner, whether they're in a palace or a teepee.
While decay and neglect are evident here at the Hamden Police Station, that's still no guarantee that a $15 million building project will be completed, as both sides of the issue can't seem to agree upon what stage of the building process they're at. A feasibility study is in the works, but the police department has been there before and heard that tale. Since the 1970s, this building has been deemed an environmental and health hazard. So only time will tell if the building project will become a reality or put on the back burner once again. For Q30 News, I'm Rob Duffy.
Avon Mountain was closed this afternoon due to a crash. The accident was reported on the West Hartford side of Route 44 around 3 p.m. Emergency crews closed the roadway to traffic on both directions of the mountain. Police say the mountain reopened just around 3:30. The crash involved two vehicles, sending both drivers to the hospital. The extent of the injuries is still unknown.
A 7-year veteran of the Madison Police Department has been arrested on multiple charges. Officer Bernard Durgan Jr. is charged with illegally obtaining information. Police say that after an ongoing criminal investigation, Durgan is accused of obtaining information on people from the Connecticut Online Law Enforcement Communications Teleprocessing System between February 2006 and July 2007. Detectives began the investigation into Durgan 2 months ago after receiving a complaint from a New Haven police officer following an incident with the Poor Boys Motorcycle Club based in East Haven. People say that during the investigation, they discovered that Durgan had run 17 unauthorized background checks in the past 2 years. Detectives said some of the unauthorized checks were run on fellow employees at Yale New Haven Hospital, where Durgan moonlighted as security. Police said that Durgan was engaged to one of the people he ran a background check on. Authorities say an internal affairs investigation into Durgan is ongoing and say that he is presently serving a 10-day suspension from a previous internal investigation. Durgan was released on $75,000 bond Tuesday night and was scheduled to appear in court earlier today.
The State Department of Corrections has its hands full after Governor Jody Rell banned parole for Connecticut inmates. They will now review 5,000 parole cases to determine who has a violent past and who should be sent back to prison. Critics of the new plan say prisons are already overcrowded and worry the problem will only get worse. Governor Rell says she won't jeopardize public safety by letting parolees return to a life of crime. It's not known how long the ban on parole will last. 3 Wolcott teens involved in a fatal crash were laid to rest yesterday. The town of Wolcott mourned the loss of the high schoolers at 2 separate funerals. 17-year-old Anthony Abruzzese was buried alongside his younger sister Jessica at St. Pius Church. The third victim, 15-year-old Tamara Correa, was laid to rest at Woodtick Funeral. The accident occurred 1 week ago when teens crashed head-on into a utility truck. Mourners have turned the crash site into a memorial, placing flowers and mementos on the fence where the car struck. Wolcott postponed all sporting events yesterday to honor the students.
In Newington, a 62-year-old grandmother is dead 3 days after the drowning of her 2-year-old grandchild. Marcia McGlisco hanged herself in her Newington home Monday after being charged with risk of injury to a minor. 911 transcripts report McGlisco asked police first to arrest and then to shoot her. The grandmother was arrested Friday after police found 2-year-old Aiden Blake Halder unresponsive in the tub of his West Hartford home. Halder was pronounced dead at Connecticut's Children's Medical Center in Hartford. McGlisco claimed Halder had slipped and hit his head, and she left him. He was taken to a hospital for mental evaluation and released Saturday after the family posted bond. Police are still investigating both McGlisco's suicide and Halder's drowning death.
And for those of you who are concerned, the mayor of Atlantic City is alive and right out of rehab. Mayor Robert Levy disappeared 2 weeks ago without any notice to the city. This morning, Mayor Levy resigned from office after entering a rehab facility for substance abuse and mental issues, and now he's back home in the city. The mayor was last seen in public on September 26th and had many citizens concerned. The mayor's resignation is effective immediately. City Council member William Speedy Marsh will take over Levy's place on an interim basis.
Coming up next on Q30 News, the university finalizes its purchase of a third campus.
And Pakistan launches a major strike against Islamic militants. Greg Clary has all your world news when we come back. Stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
It doesn't matter how you put it out, as long as you put it out. If you start a fire, put it out.
Oh, hey, John, what's up? Nothing, I'm just at Carrie's.
It's just me and Carrie.
John, it's just Carrie. I'm hanging out with my friend. I'm not doing anything wrong, John. John?
What'd he say this time?
He's just stressed.
It's not okay for him to treat you like that, Jess.
Speak up. Just because it isn't physical doesn't mean it's not abuse.
Mr. Murphy, Ed McMahon. We're starting up the neighborhood watch in this area, and here's all.
Stevie, get down here, please.
No, it's just. It's
5, 6, 7, 8.
That's really cute.
Help play a part in the safety of your community. To find out how you can start or join a neighborhood watch, log on to usaonwatch.org.
School buses for Hamden.
Welcome back. Eagles are making a comeback in the heart of Quinnipiac. Eagles are nothing new to Connecticut, but the births of 2 new eaglets has everyone looking up to the skies. The baby eagles, William and Mary, were born in mid-May and are now flying around the Quinnipiac River. It is the first time in decades that eagles have hatched along the river. The eaglets are flying with their parents, Essex and Elizabeth, and the recent births have some people calling it a great day for the old river. The little eaglets were even seen playing around eating fish around the Quinnipiac River.
Sorry, Tony, I wasn't sure if that eaglets was a word. Sorry, it's got me laughing a little bit. Anyways.
It very much is a word.
Quinnipiac University finalized the purchase of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield campus. Renovations on the 150,000 square foot building will accommodate the graduate programs of 2009. The university will gain use of more buildings over time, eventually creating a graduate education center in North Haven. The move to North Haven will free up space on Quinnipiac's main campus in Hamden. This new location will become the university's third campus, following behind the $52 million TD Bank North Sports Center. York Hill campus is continuing development by adding residence halls, a student center, and a parking garage.
Yoga has become a popular way to stay in shape, but this fall, New Haven residents combined exercise with a good cause. Q30's Anthony Filiacci has more.
The world may go by fast, but it doesn't always have to.
It's spiritual in nature. It's relaxing.
It makes me feel very peaceful and calm. It relaxes me.
Yes, they're talking about yoga. Around 100 people from the New Haven area gathered here at Edgewood Park to honor the anniversary of September 11th. For most, the event was an effort to spread peace.
The harmony we create with our shared presence will radiate beyond us.
Just as some people had engaged in acts of violence, it would be good to emphasize positive acts of peace.
These yogis purposely performed 108 series of postures in unison. They did it together to give strength to their message of peace.
Events like this is the correct response to open up to world peace, love, and calmness.
Calm wasn't exactly the word Fontaine Chambers had in mind when she saw this outside her front door.
I was shocked, actually, because I wasn't expecting it. But I heard music, so I just came outside and I was like, oh, wow, what's going on? It's crazy.
Crazy, but not out of the question.
It seems like something I could do, and it's always good to try something new that you'll never do.
Well, there's always next year. The New Haven Yogis for Peace may be welcoming 2 new yogis. The Yoga for Peace event in Edgewood Park, New Haven was one of 22 across the world. I spoke to the event coordinators and they say they are happy to hear that peace and serenity has stretched across this city. Anthony Filiacci, Q30 News.
Can the world's fastest man be over 55 years old? According to Berlin officials, absolutely not. Former Mexican president runner-up Roberto Madrazo won the Berlin Marathon for his age group of 55 and older. The only problem is that he finished 9 miles in 21 minutes, a near impossibility for runners. Madrazo ran the race in a jacket wearing a hat and barely broke a sweat. Many Mexican residents say that if Madrazo cheats at one thing, he would cheat at everything. Madrazo finished the race with an ear-to-ear grin on his face, only to get his title taken away.
A 3-year-old Nevada girl whose rape was recorded on video was in the care of her babysitter. Her mother hired the sitter did not know her daughter had been victimized. She learned of the rape during a search when the daughter appeared on TV. A family friend called the mother when her daughter's story aired. The suspect, 37-year-old Arthur Stiles, a former animal trainer, was identified by the mother. Officials say the girl was 3 years old, possibly younger at the time of the abuse. She is now 7. A man who found and held onto the tape in a Nevada desert for 5 months just turned himself into police. The family's attorney says the girl was found in a relative's home in Nevada, safe and healthy. Authorities are not releasing any more information due to an ongoing investigation. Stiles is at large and authorities have set a national search. The FBI is also seeking Arthur Stiles on another matter involving state charges.
And a controversial charter school is now reopening. Q30's very own Kathleen Hessman has more. Kathleen?
School buses for Hamden's Highville Mustard Seed Charter School are driving into 130 Leader Hill Drive once again. But this year, the road to Highville might not have even existed. The Highville community put up a strong fight to keep the school alive.
Parents and teachers, got together. We petitioned the state. We went up and met with the Attorney General at the state to really show our support.
With this support, Highville overcame sending students to the contaminated Old Hamden Middle School site, are overcoming their estimated $2 million financial debt, and are overcoming their past mismanagement.
We're going to change a lot of the management aspects of the school district. We're going to raise the level of accountability.
Another change this year is 14 newly built classrooms, helping students globally study countries such as Italy, or China. Parents are continuing to give their full support.
They have just been sensational. They support us, they work with us.
And couldn't be happier to send their children back to Highville for another year.
I was ecstatic. I was so happy. Thankful, very thankful.
The new year has kicked off to a great start with still more to come. Students' minds are currently at work planning a charity event for the school, and by the beginning of October, enrollment expects to be completed. Now that the school has cleared through the bumps in the road, the Highville community can call 130 Leader Hill Drive their home. In Hamden, Kathleen Hessman, Q30 News.
Well, the numbers are in, and violent crime in New Haven is down, but not everyone is celebrating. New Haven's third quarter crime statistics were released Sunday, and homicides were down 39%, rape 21%, and robbery 10%. Still, New Haven police are concerned with the large number of gun crimes. Non-fatal shootings have actually increased from 92 in the first 9 months of 2006 to 139 over the same period this year. Police Chief Francisco Ortiz says the people of New Haven need to be more involved in combating the violence. Groups such as the Guardian Angels and the Edgewood Park Defense Patrol have established New Haven chapters in an effort to keep the crime under control.
Well, Tony, speaking of crime, police and bank managers are on the lookout for a man wearing a blue checked shirt, a red baseball cap, khaki pants, and sunglasses. The man is suspected of robbing at least 3 banks in the New Haven area, most recently on Monday at the New Alliance Bank on Main Street in West Haven. He allegedly presented a note to the teller and fled on foot with an undetermined amount of cash. The robbery occurred at approximately 10:30 a.m. at the bank branch just blocks away from the West Haven Green in City Hall. The suspect is described as a white male in his late 20s, between 5'10" and 6 feet tall. He is also wanted in connection with another robbery in West Haven and one in Branford. If you have any information, you're urged to call the West Haven Police at 203-937-3900.
Well, could ethnic conflict in Turkey spill over into Iraq? Q30's Greg Clary has more at our World News Desk. Greg?
Thanks, Tony. Stability in northern Iraq could be threatened by the actions of the Turkish government. CNN Turk says Turkey is preparing to launch an attack against the Kurds. This comes after 15 Turkish soldiers were killed by Kurdish rebels since Sunday. The rebels have sought separation from Turkey since 1984. Turkish officials want to chase the rebels from Turkey and into northern Iraq. The United States doesn't want such an attack because they say Iraq is already unstable. The rebels' war with Turkey has claimed tens of thousands of lives. The Pakistani Air Force attacked the border of Afghanistan Tuesday, leaving 50 militants dead. The airstrike was the most recent fight between Pakistani forces, Taliban, and al-Qaeda militants. Those battles have killed up to 150 militants and 50 government troops. Taliban fighters were able to train and restock weapon supplies with no resistance from the Pakistani government. Alongside the Taliban, al-Qaeda has created a safe haven just inside the Pakistani border. Pakistan's president has ordered the arrest of al-Qaeda militants in the area, but little has been done to prevent militants from obtaining weapons and safety in the country. The Summer Olympics are scheduled next year in China for some of the world's most gifted athletes, but there is one Olympic group many people don't think about, the Special Olympians. China has been criticized by other world powers for their treatment of the disabled, but now that they're hosting the Special Olympics in Shanghai this year, their stance has changed. The country has opened several special homes to care for the mentally disabled. They have also spent millions on ensuring the safety and acceptance of 7,500 Special Olympic competitors. That's World News. Tony and Alysis, back to you.
Well, thanks, Greg. After a sweltering September, the temperature seems to be coming down a little bit. But how low will the temperatures go?
You know, I just want to say something, okay? A few days ago, I was sitting in my bathing suit on my balcony getting a suntan, and then today it's been freezing and raining for the past few days.
It's been.
What's going on?
I don't know. It's been pretty depressing, to tell you the truth. But it finally looks like fall. You finally got the chill in the air that we've been expecting for, weeks now.
That's true. Now we just need to get rid of the rain.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's check in with our weather center with Amanda. Amanda?
Thanks, guys. Will it clear up in time for this weekend? Stay tuned for your full weather forecast.
I think is great about our country. We have a right to like and we have a right to have our dislikes.
Being able to speak about how we feel.
You can do anything you want.
Choice.
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. The freedom.
So how do you express your freedom?
I'm not really doing anything.
I don't vote.
I've refused to vote.
I'm not in any sort of activist groups or anything like that.
I just find that it falls on deaf ears.
Honestly, I can't remember the last time I took up a cause.
This is fine. Thanks.
We have clouds, fog, and rain today with temperatures in the mid to low 60s, but overall the rain did not amount to more than an inch. In local temperatures, upper 50s to low 60s throughout Connecticut, but Hartford 61, Storrs 57, and like I said, pretty much low 60s. In national temperatures, staying really warm down south. In the northwest, pretty much the same temperatures as us. 57 in Montreal, 66 in New York, and 77 in Washington, D.C. Taking a look at our radar, this rain from the Great Lakes is going to be moving east, and as it does so, all the rain, the wind will be moving towards Connecticut and hitting us. But after that, the light rain through Thursday and Friday will make way to partly cloudy skies for this weekend. For tonight, 56 degrees, mostly cloudy, winds north-northeast at 5 to 10 miles an hour. For tomorrow, 68 degrees, cloudy with some showers developing late, winds east-northeast 5 to 10 miles an hour. Taking a look at our 7-day forecast, 68 degrees Thursday, 61 degrees Friday. That's when our rain is going to be moving out for the weekend. Low 60s Saturday and Sunday, and staying nice and cool through the rest of the week. Let's take a look at our entertainment.
Pamela Anderson tied the knot Saturday for the third time in Las Vegas. This time, however, to the man starring in Paris Hilton's 2003 sex tape, Rick Solomon. Anderson's been friends with Solomon for 15 years and applied for a marriage license last month. Their marriage ceremony was shorter than most. Anderson was scheduled to work her second magic show gig that night at the Planet Hollywood Resort and Casino. On The Late Show with David Letterman Monday, ex-husband Kid Rock wished the couple well, only after he commented saying, "Why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?" Anderson married Solomon at the Mirage Hotel in front of friends and family. And it's official, Lindsay Lohan checked out of rehab last Friday. Lohan's been living at the Cirque Lodge in Utah since August after her drinking and drugging went downhill. She's also been reunited with her father after 3 years and said to In Touch Weekly magazine her family's divorce also triggered her behavior. Lohan wants to cut out all of the people that led her to make such choices and apologizes to her fans, saying the following to In Touch magazine. "I just want to apologize to any of my fans that look up to me, especially my younger fans, for setting the examples that I didn't mean to set." Lohan plans on staying in Utah until filming for her new movie, Dare to Love Me, begins. And ex-Survivor star Johnny Fairplay is suing ex-Partridge Family star Danny Bonaducci for battery and infliction of emotional distress. Last week at the Fox Reality Really Channel Awards, Fairplay jumped into Bonaducci's arms after Bonaducci commented on the audience's booing towards Fairplay. Bonaducci proceeded to literally toss Fairplay over his shoulders, causing Fairplay to land face first on the ground. Fairplay then proceeded to have 2.5 hours of dental surgery after several teeth were damaged. Fair Play says he's suing for an undisclosed amount of general damages. Police have investigated the incident and called Bonaducci's actions self-defense. That wraps it up for entertainment tonight. Back to you, Tony and Alysis.
Thanks, Kathleen. So no Britney news today, which is surprising.
I guess not. I kind of like having her in the spotlight all the time. Anyway, let's toss it over to our sports desk with Quinnipiac's favorite Floridian, Justin Cohen.
Justin?
Well, thank you, Tony and Alysis. It is October, and that means it's time for conference play. And one Bobcats club continues to amaze, and I'll tell you which one right after the break.
It's great about our country. We have a right to like and we have a right to have our dislikes.
Being able to speak about how we feel.
You can do anything you want.
Choice, freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech. Freedom of speech. The freedom.
So how do you express your freedom?
I'm not really doing anything.
I don't vote. I've refused to vote.
I'm not in any sort of activist groups or anything like that.
I just find that it falls on deaf ears.
Honestly, I can't remember the last time I took up a cause.
This is fine. Thanks.
Bobcats men's soccer team continued their winning ways this week, and the accolades keep on coming. The Bobcats kicked off their NEC schedule with 2 wins. On Friday, they visited Sacred Heart and won 1-0. Graciano Brito scored another goal in the win, and Freddie Hall recorded his 3rd shutout of the season. The Bobcats then took their winning streak to Fairleigh Dickinson Sunday and won 2-1. Brito scored another goal and recorded an assist in the match. On Tuesday, in the non-conference battle against Holy Cross, Brito scored again, and Hall recorded his 4th shutout in the 1-0 victory. Brito now leads the country with 1.38 goals per game, and in points per game has an even 3. With the conference wins, the Bobcats move in the 2nd in the Northeast Regional rankings. The Bobcats will visit CCSU on Sunday, game time set for 12 p.m. The Quinnipiac volleyball team hosted the Quinnipiac Invitational this weekend. Among the teams in attendance were Chicago State, St. Peter's, and Sacred Heart. The Bobcats lost in straight sets to Chicago State 32-30, 30-20, and 30-19 on Saturday, and on Sunday also lost in straight sets to St. Peter's. The Bobcats open their NEC play tonight at Iona. The field hockey team faced 2 division foes this week. The Bobcats traveled to Loretto, Pennsylvania to face St. Francis of PA. After St. Francis took a 1-0 lead, Jillian Carroll tied the game in the 50th minute. St. Francis scored twice in the final 14 minutes and took the game 3-1. The losing ways continued in Pennsylvania. The Bobcats went on the Lock Haven, losing 5-2. The Bobcats cross-country teams traveled to the New England Championships in Boston. Out of the 44 teams competing, the women finished 1st overall and the men 10th out of 43. And now a quick word from Quinnipiac's Athletic Director, Jack McDonald.
Hi, this is Jack McDonald, Director of Athletics and Recreation at Quinnipiac, inviting all of our 6,000 Quinnipiac students to come over to the TD Bank North Sports Center on Friday night, October 12th, for our first ever Midnight Madness in our new facility. We want to fill the gym, wear your gold shirts, and come over and see a great night of entertainment by our spirit groups and our basketball teams and our student athletes. See you then. Go Bobcats.
All right, and that'll do it for sports. Now back to you, Tony and Alysis.
Thanks, Justin, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Have a good rest of the week, and good night, everyone.
Bye now.